What is your number one piece of branding advice?
Stay consistent. And staying consistent doesn't only mean logo styles and color codes, it also means how you talk to your customers or how you talk about your company. And yeah, there's much more involved than only the design style.
I think it's really about not faking it. I mean, if you're a person, for example, if you're trying to copy someone and be someone who you're not, it's just a matter of time before you're going to be called out for it. If you're really authentic and you're trying to be the brand that you are, it's just much easier in every sense of brand management. Every touch point is going to be so easily managed because you're basically just being yourself. So that's my number one advice, just be authentic, be yourself.
Hear, hear. I would also say equally as important is organization. Really kind of getting your stuff together. There's nothing worse than having very clearly defined, consistent guidelines, for instance, but not being able to locate them or share them. And ultimately that's what Frontify is all about, what we're so happy to be a part of. But in this instance of actually experiencing sort of this reboot process, nothing could be more important than making sure everyone's on track and it's very easy and user-friendly and clear as to where everything lives, how to use it, when, where. So that's kind of my big one.
Never forget about the employees who work behind the brand, because in the end, their happiness is the reason if the business is working or not. So yeah, never forget about them.
Branding should, let's say, really be based on the culture you have in a company, and it has to come out of the culture. It has to respect what the culture of the company is. Only then it will have kind of a lasting impact and people will take it and use it. If it's not aligned to your values, to your brand identity, to your core values, to your culture, it probably will just fade away after some months or after 1 or 2 years. So to create a lasting brand experience, it needs to be aligned to culture.
Yeah, just really live the brand values, and I think even if you don't use Frontify as a software, just make sure you have this space, this really single source of truth where you keep all your brand management information in one place.
Definitely. My branding advice would be to stay consistent and true to your brand, but also don't be afraid to step outside the box every now and again.
I think it's good to realize that it's not us as a company who define who we are. Of course we can write it down and we can have a picture of it, but in the end it's all about the image in the market. It's about that image that people have of us. That's actually the brand. So brand management, it sounds like having a lot of control, and it sounds like we can plan the things the way we want, but in the end we will have to wait for how the market reacts and have to wait for what happens actually with the way we have profiled ourselves, the way we express ourselves. Is it really arriving in the market, or is the image that we see that arrives a bit different than the way we planned it? So I think the most important thing here is really realizing that it's not us. We can only try to control it. It's the people out there who define who we are.